Of course I was muted this whole time. Let me start over. Hello everyone, 'tis I, once again, BasementSushi, and today I'm bringing you the bottom of the well. Also, yeah, thanks you guys for letting me know I was muted. Forgot to hit the button. Happens sometimes. Anyway, like I was saying, this is a cool game. If you've been around my channel long enough, you'll remember I have streamed it once before. I have an announcement. I'm going to do that in just a few minutes. What else? Right. So you get to set up your character if you want. Her name's Alice. You can set her up with, like, using the limited number of skill points. But for now, I'm just going to use, like, the default setup, just so I can get started. Also, different skills are best for different ways you play through the game, so I don't want to have to worry about that right now. We're just doing a playthrough. The default Alice is capable of finishing the game to its true ending, but not necessarily through all branches. This Alice is career-motivated, friendly, somewhat lazy, a hopeless romantic with no survival skills at all. She makes up for it by being a good organizer. Weebella says, so is this a horror game? Do I get my diapers? It is. It's a little weird. It's kind of like End of the World-esque, but it's not a horror game. It's not really that scary. Makes you think, but aside from that, so here are my skills. Not anything super useful for surviving, but that's okay. Alright. Dream diary. Today I had the weirdest dream in my life. I'm waiting for Joe to come online so I can talk. Oh, I didn't get to read that. So this is her friend. So this is how the game always starts off. I could skip this part. Weepfella says, I mean if it has jump scares. No, it doesn't. It's mostly just text. So it doesn't have jump scares or anything. So morning, eh? Morning. So I'm Alice, this person. Oh, shoot.
Oh, got it.
Okay, so she was telling this guy about her dream. Alright. Telling her friend about her dream. Alright. So like I said, it was the end of the world. Everything I did that day felt like the real thing. Every smell, every sound, every color, every touch. It's important you know that. I wasn't acting like I would in a dream. I didn't know it was a dream. Heavy. So I think I'm just gonna read Alice's part. But I'll give you time to read the other person's part. Also, 1 second. There was no warning, no build-up, nothing. Just between one moment and the next, the TV had turned to the emergency alert system, and this voice that sounded like it had been recorded in the 60s told us we were under attack. Were you alone? Yeah, I had had a really long day at the office, so I had sworn off all social contact for the evening. I had the TV on in the background, just as noise. Wait, what? The office? You mean you've got some kind of a real adult person job in this dream of yours? Yeah, actually, at the college. Student admissions office. Hey, don't sound so surprised. I am going to graduate in just a few months, you know. Uh-huh. With a bachelor's in English Lit. Shut up. Such skill with words. Anyway, what happened next? Like I said, the TV suddenly turned to the emergency alert system. Jacked the volume all the way up, too. I didn't even know they could do that. The broadcast told us we were under attack right now and that we needed to get to shelter. That we had less than 30 minutes before the bombs hit. Jesus, sounds scary. At first I didn't want to believe it. I switched the channel, but they were all the same. And then the sirens started. Tornado sirens, flood sirens, I don't know. And I knew things were serious. So what did you do? Alright, so this is a lot of what the game is. Mostly text, but you get to pick a few things, and that determines when you go through the game what happens next. And it really does matter what you pick. I've played some games like this where what you pick doesn't really affect things that much, but in this game it does. It really does. Anyway, while I have this moment, I'm also going to talk about the other stuff up here. So this kind of shows like... Thanks, hon. Oh, my viewer count on here updated, so I can see it now. Awesome. So this shows like how healthy I am. Shows me how much food I have. You know, time, date, day, weather.
Ooh, yeah, baby, give me a call.
Alright, so now that I kind of went over the game mechanics a little bit, I'm gonna pick an option. Alright. So, what do I want to do? Alright, let's think about my options. Okay, what was your plan? The broadcast kept saying to stay indoors, to keep all windows and doors closed, stuff like that. Was it realistic of you to think you could stay in the apartment? Realistic? It wasn't like I had been through a lot of apocalypses before. I'm not sure what constitutes realistic. I had enough food in my cupboards to last me a little while, so at least I had that going for me. So I see there's some viewers on. That is awesome. If you're here because I said I have an announcement, I'm going to do that in a couple minutes, like 2 or 3. So please hang around. That'll be soon. Realistic? Oh, wait. I had enough food in my cupboards to last me a little while, so at least I had that going for me. Oh yeah, and then I had my trusty radio, of course. I tried it, and it worked. It was sending out the same emergency broadcast as the TV. And you call me a Luddite. You got me there. So, what did you do? Alright, so again, another choice. Let's go online. Didn't you try calling someone, like your parents? Of course I tried, but it was futile. The phone network was completely overworked, but the net still worked fine. So what'd you find? The net was still working, but the bandwidth was severely lacking. The major news networks were either down or overloaded, but all the big search engines defaulted to some kind of government site in super simple HTML. That kind of confirmed it was really the real deal. Isn't the net supposed to be some kind of DARPA invention anyway? Wouldn't be surprised if they had some kind of system in place to take over if need be. Well, they hadn't taken it over. You could still go wherever you wanted. Facebook still worked. Apocalypse-proof servers? Nice. It was insane. I tried to get in touch with my brother. He's the only one who's even got an account. But there was no reply. I spammed my aunts and sent an email to my mother, but I don't know. It felt like I needed to find someone right then and there. Right there and then. There we go. And? A group chat. It was spreading through our social network like wildfire. Someone had found the closest old fallout shelter that was actually still operable, down on 3rd. People were going there, just grabbing all they could and running before the bombs fell. A-Gaming says, did I miss it? I'm here. Nope, you didn't miss it. I'm looking at like another 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna do my announcement. So just hang around. We're doing that in just a sec. Like, I have a clock up. It's like 2 minutes. Alright, let's see. So what happened next? You know, I did find you online. That must have been useless. I'm all the way over here in Old Blighty. Unless things were different in your dream. No, you were still in the UK. The bombs had already started falling there. You disappeared. It was only a dream, Al. One sec. Sure. So then what? Alright, this seems like a good point to pause. Do my announcement real quick. Alright. So for those of you that are here at the moment, I was saying that I have a big announcement.
I'll be right back.
Alright. And here it is. My name is BasementSushi. You guys know that. What you don't know is that my name is also Ilaria Wilson. That is my real name. I haven't revealed it before, and the only reason I have now is I have a troll that figured it out. So I'm trying to make sure you guys are all on the same page. Hun, do you want to come over?
Yeah, I have to take my mom to Walmart.
Alright, well, come sit with me for just
Let's
a
do
second.
this quickly.
Yeah. Anyway. So my name is Ilaria Wilson, as I just said. You want to say yours?
My name is Leonardo Vargas.
Those are our real names. Now you guys know. I can tell you a lot more. My name's Ilaria Wilson. I am 20 years old. My parents' names are Jean and Eric. Also, to my troll, my dad has a message for you. Whether or not you figured it out yet, he grew up in rural, like middle of the country, United States. Knows how to use a gun. Has guns. You come after my family or me, he has no problem taking care of you. Do you have anything else to add to that? I think that pretty much sums it up.
Hey, BB, you want some food?
Okay, you still can't cuss on my channel.
Hey, BB, you want some fudge?
Okay, shoot. Go away.
Okay. I gotta get dressed. It's so cold outside.
Oh, right. So that was the message from my dad. And Leo, my husband, his message is, well, actually, this is just from me, I think. You know, Troll, you make fun of him a lot for being fat, but what you don't know is most of that is muscle. You come after him, you're going to have a very big problem on your hands very quickly.
Sorry, just like, literally?
Yeah, it's like, you look like you're just fat, but it's mostly muscle. Anyway, that is my big announcement. Had gone public a little bit more about me.
I can carry her on my biceps, just letting you know.
Yeah, he can pick me up with one arm. It's tons of fun. Alright. Anyway.
Alright, I gotta go.
You gotta go? Alright, see you in a bit.
Boy!
Alright. Did I have anything else to say? I think that was it. Alright.
Get out of my room, I'm playing Minecraft!
The troll's like still saying stuff and it's like, okay, congrats. I already revealed it. Alright. Moving on with the game. Weedfella says I'm playing Minecraft. Fantastic. Alright. Let's see, what do we want to do? Honestly, I think I'd go to a fallout shelter. If there's bombs falling, lost my train of thought.
Be back.
Alright, close the door all the way. Alright. Alright. The old fallout shelter was down on 3rd. It wasn't far. Close enough to walk anyway. Did you think to bring anything? Oh, right. Yes. I grabbed the biggest bag I had. A backpack. People always called it magic. You could fit so much into it. Bigger on the inside and all that. So there are some fun little references in here. Alright, so I can pick some stuff to take with me. Weedfella said, also this troll found your parents' name? Yeah, fun times. Alright, let's see. What do I want to take? I think I'm going to take food. Radio. Maybe more food? Can I take anything else? Oh, I can take stuff in my hands. Alright, cool. Exit inventory. Alright, so I took some stuff. Alright, well, go on. What was it like? Did you run into trouble? You could say that. God, that shelter. So, I headed towards the shelter from my apartment. I'll admit, I was still kind of hoping it was all just some kind of false alarm, and by tomorrow everything would be back to normal. Like an extreme version of Orson Welles' War of the Worlds broadcast. Actually, the panic that radio show caused was greatly exaggerated, probably by Welles himself. And it worked. We still remember it today. Great ad campaign. Guess that English Lit degree is coming to some use at least. Yeah, well, it didn't really feel like it. I remember trying to think of words to describe the way the streets felt, the way the city sounded. Turmoil, chaos, anarchy, tumult, pandemonium. The capital of hell. Now who's got a degree in lit? Stop stalling. Yeah, it's just so, like I said, everything felt so real. The panic in the streets, the accidents everywhere with no emergency responders showing up, and the ever-present siren. It was like everyone walked with their eyes to the sky, just expecting to see a flash. Did you make it to the shelter okay? The shelter was actually in the basement of a bar. They used it as storage, which was handy since there was a door towards the street. But there are no signs or anything like that anymore. I just knew about it from the Facebook conversation. Okay, wait. Isn't that the bar you always go to? The Rad Bar? Heh, yeah. Go on, Alice. Did you get in? I went to what I thought was the side door. It wasn't the kind of alleyway I'd usually hang out in. I could just imagine junkies and hobos sleeping among those trash bags. Anyway, the suspense is killing me. So I knocked on the door and then immediately tried the handle. It was locked. Nothing happened for a while. And then the door opened, just a bit, and she stuck her head out. She? The bitch queen. This was She was this redhead chick who had taken charge of everything in there. She was the one who originally posted about the place, so I guess she felt she owned it somehow. She stood there in the doorway, looking me over, and then basically said, "We're full." Like it was an exclusive club. I can't believe they just keep you out for no good reason. Was it actually full? Ha, not a chance. There was a sign on the door that said capacity 100. There was just no way there was 100 people in there already. I said as much. She didn't reply. I guess you didn't just let it be at that. Alright, so what do we want to do? I'm going to try and push the door open. I wasn't having any of this. The door clearly said capacity 100 people. There was no way there were 100 people in there. So what did you do? I tried pushing, but I was way too slow and weak. She kicked my foot out and slammed the door, leaving me standing in front of it. Oh, well. Well, he sums it up. Oops. Yeah, I tried banging, but, well, there was nothing else to do but give up. I stepped back from the door, the sound of it slamming shut still echoing in my ears. It was the sound of desperation. I knew there'd be no more opening it. I had to think of something else. So you were right back where you started. Kind of. So, realistically, what were your options? Well, get out of town, I guess. Like, town's not going to be safe if it's going to be hit by bombs. So, what was your plan? Well, I needed to get out of the town area fast, which left me with a few options. The streets. I can imagine they must have been pretty bad. You live centrally, don't you? Yep, the streets were bad. Really bad. Accidents everywhere. Gridlocked as far as the eye could see. Panic. Bedlam. Awful. So, no buses, no metro. And you don't own a car, correct? That's right. But I had a few options. One was to start walking until I got out of the gridlock zone and then steal a car. People were leaving them with the keys in the ignition, just running away. Okay, sounds awful. And reasonable. Another would be to try and find a car as soon as possible and then use it to make a way out of the gridlock. What, like in the action movies? A truck or a bus or something smashing through? Something like that. There was a third option. This one guy I know, who lives not too far away. I know for a fact he has a motorcycle, and I know for a fact he loves it and takes good care of it. Maybe he'd lend it to me. Lend his favorite thing to someone who is self-avowedly leaving forever to live as a hermit out in the mountains? I'm sure he'd be thrilled. Maybe a bit of a long shot. But I do know him pretty well. Maybe he'd consider that better than having to watch it melt in a nuclear furnace. Alright then. So, what did you decide to do? I'm thinking try with the motorcycle, because then you could get out fast in between cars. The motorcycle seemed like a good idea at the time. Except that when I arrived at his building, the first thing I saw was him outside prepping his ride together with a group of similarly attired, similarly equipped motorcycle guys. So much for borrowing a motorcycle then. He recognized me when I approached. He looked pretty distracted, packing up the saddlebags on the... Sorry, I had to yawn. With all kinds of things, but he stopped for a second to talk. Hello, I see you're making your escape. Would you happen to have a spare slot in your escape-a machine? Not exactly. He told me he was headed towards the fallout shelter, and that if I wanted to come with them, I could come with them. He said he knew the woman in charge and that she was waiting for him. Yes, you also know the woman in charge, and it didn't go so well last time. True, but it was such a tempting offer. Did you take his offer? I'm gonna say no. Like, it seems like if she didn't let me in before, she wouldn't let me in now, and I'd just be wasting time. So no daring escape into the sunset on your motorcycle with bombs going off behind you. What a pathetic excuse for a power fantasy this dream of yours is. I don't think it ever was a power fantasy, or necessarily a fantasy at all. Anyway, I still had to make a choice, and I had already lost a lot of time. No kidding. It's been like 2 hours. Let's walk past the worst, I guess. I decided walking was the best option. The whole downtown area was gridlocked. Cars everywhere. People running down the sidewalks and the sirens blaring. It was like one of those disaster movies. No hope of driving anywhere at any rate. But where was everyone going? Most of them were going home, I think. People were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there you were, running away from home. Once I made my decision, I stuck to it, no matter how much I was filled with doubt. Half an hour was nothing at all. But luckily that estimate was completely wrong. Sometimes I'll walk half an hour in the wrong direction just because I stubbornly refuse to believe I'm lost. I didn't know what was the right direction, but I did try to get there as fast as possible, although that was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I was swept up in a mass of people and manhandled in the wrong direction more than once. Every few minutes I stopped to consult the map to make sure I was going in the right direction. Was there any danger? Like people attacking each other or something? Oh, sorry I yawned. I really did not think I was so sleepy. No, I thought we were all going in the same direction, but then I realized that the crowd was heading somewhere I hadn't planned to go, a subway station. What did you do? I was swept along. It was that or get trampled or pinned against some wall. I finally managed to disentangle myself with the mass of people just outside the entrance. Apparently it was closed, and people were trying to break through the gates. By the time I was out, though, I had lost a lot of time. Time. Yes. Isn't that the thing you're fighting here? How far away were you planning on getting? Well, a lot further than I had gotten at that point. I could practically still see my apartment building. But the crowd was slowly thinning at least, and I actually saw a vehicle in motion, an ambulance weaving between stalled cars with its sirens blaring. What did you do? Try and find a car, I guess. That was the plan. I'm still not sure how you're ethically justifying this to yourself. I was scared out of my wits, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. Fair enough. So how did you go about it? I, kind of just jumped into the first open door I found. Of course, there was no key, because the driver still had it. He had just been on the other side of the car. Seeing me sitting there, he had a minor apoplectic fit and ran at me, keys in hand. Dang, Alice. I knew you weren't a car thief material. I panicked when I saw him coming and went for the door. He saw me do it and tried to stop me, but in my squirrely state, I managed to close it in his face and then immediately lock it. Of course, he did have the key, but I managed to crawl out the passenger door before he got the door open again. Lucky, lucky. Well, not that lucky. We still don't have a vehicle. Hey, it was my first attempt at car theft, even if it didn't go very well. I'm assuming you stopped after this? I skulked around for a bit longer, but I didn't dare try another car. The next guy might have a gun in his hand, not the keys. So finally I decided to stop wasting time and start walking. Shouldn't you be finding some kind of shelter? At this point, yeah. I found myself looking over my shoulder all the time, as if the flash could come at any time. Aren't you supposed to look away from the flash? Well, yeah, but how could I not? Some warning. Something. The sirens were pointless. Weren't they supposed to warn when the event is imminent? Now I'd been out for at least an hour and no bombs yet. I think I would have just stayed at home, or done about anything but head out into the open. You do that when you have this dream. You do this when you have this dream. I did what I did. So how long did you risk staying out? Try and get out of the burrows. I just kept walking. I don't really know what I was thinking. I don't think I was thinking. If I looked down and put one foot in front of the other, maybe nothing would happen. Something like that. So how did that work out for you? You think it was easy? People had driven out into the sidewalks and left their cars. Everything was a mess. I tried going down the main highway, but it proved pointless and I had to backtrack. You didn't say it was easy. Did you consider running? I half ran and jogged as much as I could, but it felt like being late for class. I got tired almost immediately, while the goal was still as far away as ever. Where were you even going? Away. As far away as I could. I don't know. And? Well, I saw it streak above my head, trailing a white cloud. What? You were outside when the bombs fell? I thought I'd have time to get away, but I just wasted too much of it somehow. I was out on the street when the initial shockwave came. There was just no duck and cover could have saved any of us there from that, I don't think. The next thing I know, I'm showered in glass and every window above us shatters. Cars swerved off the road and crashed. Bedlam. And light. Bright, bright light. I tried to crawl out of the way when something hit me. Maybe a piece from a building? I don't know. I blacked out. You have a really messed up imagination, Alice. It didn't feel like a dream. That's the thing. Because you don't wake up in dreams, do you? But I did. Bleeding, alone, out on the street. What did you see? I saw a burning city. Ash rained down, and downtown, far too close, a mushroom cloud. Just staring me in the face. It was the end of the world. I just knew that there and then. Jeez. And then there was a streak of light, and it was actually almost beautiful as it fell from space. Just a streak of light, at only a slight angle. I just had time to think, no, we've had enough, before it hit. For some reason, I elected to stare right at it when it impacted, above the ground, in a terrible fireball. Ugh. Please tell me the dream ended here. Yeah, I didn't really see it through, but I died, eventually, in the dark. And I died. Wait, this is weird. Huh? The dream? Yeah, really weird. You weren't kidding when you said it was lucid. So this ending is different the first time you play through this game, but since I've played through before, this is the ending you get if you've played through more than once. No, it's more than that. I feel like I've done this before, many times, and like I keep getting the wrong end. You're having deja vu over a dream? Except the deja vu doesn't end right? Dude. Yeah, something like that. It's that sensation of knowing exactly what word, act, or thought comes next, yet being unable to do anything about it. Until now. Until now? So, like, you broke the deja vu just now? Usually when this happens to me, it just means the situation is over. Dang it, it keeps skipping stuff. Anyway, I'm actually just gonna hit skip. That was a fun playthrough, at least. I'm starting to lose my voice again. It's really sore. But tomorrow's my prep day anyway, so I can get my voice all good for my next stream. Yeah, it's a pretty cool game. I enjoy it. I totally encourage you guys to play through it. There's so many different things you can do. And what you do and what options you have change so much depending on what you choose to do. So yeah, if this is the type of game you enjoy at all, I totally recommend it. It's free to play on Steam. Thank you for all of you who tuned in for my announcement. Always a pleasure to have you here. Trying to think if I have anything else. I can't think of anything else at the moment. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna go then. I know it was a short stream, but it was still tons of fun. And I'll see you guys all again Sunday. That's when my next stream is. Alright, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.